Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Minu, and today, as you can see in the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be ranking Studio Ghibli's anime. And right off the bat, I want to say I have not seen all of the animes from the Studio Ghibli. I have only seen like six of them, and yeah, I wanted to sit here and just rank them for funsies because why not? And the those six movies that I have seen from Studio Ghibli are Ocean Waves, Ponyo, Princess Mononoke, Whisper of the Heart, Spirited Away, and Howl's Moving Castle. So I just wanna rank these six movies that I've seen from the Studio Ghibli. So with all of that settled, let's get into it. So at number six, we have. Let me look at my notebook. We have Ocean Waves. Ocean Waves was made in 1993, and it was made by Tomomi Mochizuki. I am really sorry if I'm mispronouncing these words. I do apologize for that. It was directed by Tomomi Mochizuki, and it was written by Kaori Nakamura. And it is based on a novel by the same name by the author Saiko Himuro. So, what's the story is about? The story is about two young boys, two high schoolers named and Yutaka. Taku and Yutaka are like high school best friends. They have been friends for so long, and then a new girl moves in to their school, which her name is Rikako. Yeah, Rikako. So Ocean Waves is at number six for me because of many reasons. I originally watched this movie last year. I I liked it, but at the same time I didn't like it. Like it was very like I can say it wasn't like a coming of age stories, as we can say. It wasn't really your typical Ghibli movie that has like fantasy magic in it. It was a really realistic portrayal of like a high schooler, and I liked that aspect of it. I really did. It was refreshing, but at the same time, I really didn't like the character of Rikako, and I'm just gonna explain why. Rikako, I really try to as we when we think of a Studio Ghibli's girl, we think of young women who are kind, generous, compassionate, and but at the same time they are brave, independent, and strong. Rikako, however, not so much. Like, she genuinely annoyed me. I didn't like her. Like, I tried to. I really did. I was like, okay, well, she's moving to a new school. She's antisocial, just like I was when I was at high school. But she was so unnecessarily mean to Taku. Like, I really felt bad for him, and she was like essentially a bully, and I didn't like that. I just didn't. And the whole love triangle between them, between Taku, Rikako, and Yutaka, it was just necessary for me. I feel like if we just instead of like making a love triangle, we could have just easily made these two boys trying to befriend this girl, like just a genuine platonic relationship between them. But instead, we got into this unnecessarily love triangle that I didn't like, and um yeah, but I feel like the movie had so much potential to be instead of a genuine like a generic heterosexual like a love story. It could have been a really well made queer story in between Taku and Yutaka, the two boys in the story, because like they had like more chemistry than Rikako, and it was like, and I'm not the only one who said that. If you just look at see other YouTubers trying to talk about this movie, they basically say the exact same thing, because the chemistry between these two boys was way much than these two boys' chemistry with Rikako, and I'm like, why didn't you just make them in like a couple instead of trying to make this unnecessarily love triangle that is not just going to work. And yeah, but if I wanted to make this movie any better, I would have like one ditch the whole love triangle, because love triangles often, I feel like they are really how can I say, they are portrayed a lot when it comes to like TV shows, movies, animes. I just don't like them, and they're often poorly executed, and they just ruin the characters' friendship with each other. And the second thing is that make Rikako far more likable than she was in the anime, because like she had no zero quality about her. Like yeah, her in the movie, spoilers for the movie, obviously, we learned that her relationship with her father is not a really well relationship. She has a really troubled life at home, and I really wanted to movie to focus more on that instead of this love triangle. Like if we just had more moments with Rikako, and um we understood her character a lot more, I would have liked this movie better. But instead, we got stuck with this girl. My cats are going to be killing each other. Anyways, we are instead stuck with Rikako's and her really poorly developed character, and I genuinely didn't like that. So that's why Ocean Waves is stuck at number 6 for me. So now on to my fifth. Now from number 5 to number 1, I generally liked all these 5 movies, but I just ranked them based on how much I enjoyed them. But all these 5 movies from now on are good movies. Like they're really good, and I do recommend them to you guys to watch them. At number 5, we have Princess Mononoke. Princess Mononoke was made in 1997. It is a historical fantasy anime, and it was written, and directed by one and only Hayao Miyazaki. And the movie is set in a late, I'm so sorry, Muramachi period. Again, I'm so sorry. I'm probably mispronouncing these words. I do apologize. It is set in Muramachi period between like 1336 to 1537 CE, and it follows the story of Ashitaka, who gets stuck in this war between the spirits of the forest and the humans that are consuming its resources. And the fun fact about the title of the movie, Mononoke, actually is not a real name. Mononoke is a word for supernatural shape-shifting being who possesses people and will cause death and destruction and suffering, which was really interesting for me. So I thought I would share. So, like I said, this movie is a really good movie, but it's not my favorite. I like the character of Ashitaka as our main protagonist. I think he was really cool. I like the thing about this movie is you cannot really nitpick. You cannot really choose who's the bad guy in the movie in this anime, because at one part of the movie we have the character Sen, Sen or San. I think that's how you say her name. Or also our Princess Mononoke in the title. We have her who is fighting for the forest with the help of the animal, the wolf, with the wolf, with other animal to protect the forest from the human who are trying to use its resources. The humans, we have Lady Eboshi, which is an icon. I really like her. The thing is, I really cannot pick Lady Eboshi as the bad guy here, because we genuinely see that she really cares for her people. We have, I think the name of the village was Iron Village. We see her that she rules the village. She gives the women in the village work, and she cares for her warriors, her soldiers. Like I don't think she's a bad guy, and I in this movie. And I think that's the dilemma when it comes to Princess Mononoke. You cannot really choose who is the good guy and who is the bad guy in this anime. I yeah, I do like the character of Lady Eboshi. She isn't really morally gray area because yeah, she's in a constant fight of the spirit of the forest, and she's like pushing boundaries and disrespecting forest, but at the same time she's doing it for the goodness for her people. She's doing this because she believes that her people deserve to have a safe place to live, and I really like that about her. I want to give you a warning that this movie is a little bit more graphic. It's more bloody than your usual typical Ghibli movies. So if you haven't seen Princess Mononoke, go and watch it. If I want to make a like I want to complain about this movie and what I didn't like about it, maybe again the love story between like, or it wasn't necessarily love story, but the attraction between Ashitaka and our Princess Mononoke. I Both of these characters are really a likable character. I like both of them, but I feel like the movie didn't really portray it. Like I don't think it was meant to be portrayed in a romantic way. But if it was meant to be in a like a romantic way, I just didn't get any romance vibe between them. Like they were more like genuine good friends who wanted to save the forest from who wanted to protect the spirit of the forest from Lady Eboshi. But yeah, if it was if the quote unquote, like I said, romance between these two was unnecessary. If we could have just ditched that part and instead of focus more on the battle between the spirit of the forest and Lady Eboshi and Iron Village. So, and that's our number five, yeah. And let's go to number four. At number four, we have Ponyo. Ponyo, or also known as Ponyo on the Cliff of by the Sea. Ponyo is a 2008 animated, of course, animated 2000. It was made in 2008, and it's a fantasy anime, and it was again both written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki. The story is about Ponyo, a goldfish who escapes her home in the ocean and eventually is rescued by a boy named Sasuke who he saved from he saved Ponyo when she was stuck in a jar of glass. He saves him and he saves her, and when the movie progresses, we see that Ponyo is really fond of human life, and she wants to live the rest of her life as a girl, as a normal like girl. But because of that, the balance between the magic of the world and the world itself is collapsing, and it's getting really dangerous. So Ponyo again is a really cute movie. I cannot really see anything wrong with it. Every this movie is really emotional. It's really just a heartfelt movie you can watch with your family. Is cute. Again, I don't necessarily think this movie has a bad guy. Um, if we wanna consider Fujimoto, Ponyo's father, if we wanna consider him a bad guy, again, I don't necessarily see him as the bad guy. This poor guy just wanted to protect her daughter and keep her safe because he genuinely cared about Ponyo, and he was scared that she might just die or have something bad happen to her. So yeah, again, I don't think this movie necessarily has a bad guy. Sasuke's and Ponyo's relationship is really cute, wholesome. Ponyo's mother, Lisa, is an icon. I love the fact that when Ponyo returns to Sasuke as a little girl, when Saskia tells to her mom, tells to Lisa that, hey, look, it's Ponyo. She's a girl now. Her mom just accepts it, and she just takes care of both of them. Like she takes them home, gives them noodles, and I just like this aspect of it, that she doesn't question it. She just like, okay, yeah, this is Ponyo, who is now a girl. So let's take care of her. I just really love that. It was really wholesome and cute. And we have Ponyo's mother, who is a spirit of, who is like a really well, who is a powerful, like, um a spirit, and she's really beautiful. That's all I can say about her. And I just love the fact that apparently Fujimoto and Ponyo's mother are, apparently they are married together and have a bunch of like goldfish kids, and I'm like, okay, yeah, why not? That doesn't make, I don't know how they managed to do it, but yeah, sure, why not? They are married together, they are a couple, and they have Ponyo and a bunch of other little goldfishes. So yeah, wholesome. I vibe with it. It's cute. That's all I, this movie can literally be described in the one word, cute. Again, if you have not seen Ponyo, I highly recommend it. It's such a cute movie. And with that said, we come to our third movie. We come to our top three, and top three. The third one is Spirited Away. Now, some of you may be shocked at why Spirited Away, the number three. Well, because the number one and two, I really love them more than I did love the Spirited Away. And Spirited Away, you can, everyone knows Spirited Away. I feel like there's a little human on earth that haven't seen Spirited Away. Spirited Away, or also known as Sen and Chihiro's Spiriting Away. That's such a cool, cool name. I wish this was the original name instead of Spirited Away, but whatever. It was directed. It was made in. It was released in 2001. It was directed by, again, Hayao Miyazaki, and it is a fantasy anime. It follows the story of Chihiro, who, while moving to her new home with her parents, gets stuck up in a spirit world called Kami, and and after her parents turn into pigs by Yubaba, she then works in her bathhouse, and in order to free herself and free her parents from the spirit world. Like I said, I feel like all of us have seen this movie. You guys are all familiar with this movie, and it's just a really uh, emotional movie. The way that we see Chihiro's character growth from a little scared girl to being this brave girl who goes and saves Haku, and both her and her parents is just really admirable. Haku's relationship with Chihiro is, again, really, really beautiful, and the fact that we then see by the end of the movie that Haku is the spirit of a river. I think that was really beautiful, and the way he realizes that who he was, top notch, adorable. And then we, of course, we have No Face, the scene where he goes to the bathhouse and eats everything and everyone. Really, really, this, again, iconic. And then there is this moment where No Face offers Chihiro a bunch of golds, and she doesn't accept it. She just will say, "I'm sorry, I don't want this." And then No Face is shocked at why she is not accepting it, and because the moment No Face drops the gold, every one of the workers come and get it, and it just shows how Chihiro really doesn't care. She just wants to help everyone. Sorry, she just wants to help herself, help Haku, help her parents, and eventually help No Face. And it's just admirable how she tries to do that again. I'm yeah. Like I said, you guys must have seen Spirited Away. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. Like I 100% recommend to watch it, and it even won an Oscar, and it just really such a good movie. But it's not my favorite. And let's go to number two. At number two, we have Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle. It was made in 2004 and it's a fantasy anime again by directed and written by Hayao Miyazaki. It is based on a novel by the same name from a British author called Diana Wynne or Wine. I'm so sorry that I mispronounced her name, but it is set in a, you can say, fictional kingdom where both magic is relevant and early 20th century like technology, and it also shows that how two countries are in a war together, and it tells the story of Sophie who gets turned into an old woman by a witch whose name is Witch of the Waste, which I didn't know that. I was when I was looking up information for this video, I saw her name was Witch of the Waste, and I'm like, okay. And she gets turned into an old woman by her, and she eventually meets Howl, and she gets stuck in the war with Howl. And I just love this movie. This movie holds a really special place in my heart. I loved Howl is iconic. Howl is great. Howl's and Sophie's relationship with each other are great. The moment he goes out in the by the end of the movie, he goes out to fight for Sophie and others in the castle. Sophie says to him that let's run away together. It's like you don't have to fight. And then Howl says to her that I'm sorry, but now I have a reason to fight for, and the reason is you. My heart melts every single time. Oh, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. And the movie is obviously has a really anti war message, and yeah, it has an anti-war message, and it was Hayao Miyazaki told that he directed the movie in a because of his anger in 2003's United States invasion of Iraq, because he really was angry with it. He decides to make this movie, and like I said, it's an anti-war movie, and you can see how it affects everyone and how it's so unnecessary so many of times, and how it just two people fighting over what power, and it just ruins everyone alive, and just the worst thing. I love that. And it also talks about well, it has so much it's different from the book. While the book had more of like it discussed more about class and how and gender norms and how these two affect each other in the world. But the anime is like different from the book. I really want to read the book, but I haven't found it anywhere. So right now, I have only seen the anime, and it also talks about it has the elements of feminism in it, because and it talks about compassionate and old people. All of it has all of these elements in it, but the main theme of it is being an anti-war movie, and it just a really emotional movie, and it's yeah, watch it. Like I just cannot say anything. Go watch it. You haven't seen Howl's Moving Castle? Shame on you. Go watch it now. And with that out of the way, we come to my first choice, and for the first, my number one, Jesus, can I talk? And number one is Whisper of the Heart. Whisper of the Heart was directed by Yoshifumi Kondo. Yeah, Kondo. I'm so sorry again for mispronouncing these words. And it was written by Hayao Miyazaki. It was released in 1995. It is a coming of age musical drama, and unlike the other, and it just like Ocean Waves, this movie doesn't really have a magical fantasy element to it, and it's a really, again, like it said in the title, in the description, it's a coming of age story about Shizuku, who loves writing, loves books, and while trying to write in general, she gets stuck in this a struggle between her life at school with her family, with her grades, and her struggle of not being good enough, and while always thinking that her writings are just not good enough. And yeah, that's that's Whisper of the Heart. It's such a simple movie. It doesn't really have much going on to it, but the reason I like it a lot is because of Shizuku's character. It reminded me so much of mine. I feel like everyone can relate to Shizuku a lot, and not just necessarily in writing. You can like have different hobbies but still feeling that you are not good enough for that hobby, feeling that you are not going to achieve what you truly desire, and just feeling that you may not be the best in you do, and that the struggle is something that Shizuku in the movie experienced, and it's so realistic and sad, but at the same time we realize that if we give ourselves a pat in the back, we congratulate ourselves, we work on ourselves, we have other support, like Shizuku had this support with Seiji and his grandfather, and eventually her parents. We see that it is possible to achieve your dream. It is possible to be the best in what we can be, and I think that's the main thing that I like about this movie. It's a simple movie that is uh, so realistic. It focuses on a lot of individuals trying to achieve something in their dream, and it motivates them in a way to get that. And again, Shizuku and Seiji's relationship in the movie, Chefki, is top notch. And by the end of the movie, where Seiji confesses his love for Shizuku and asks her, "Will you marry me when we get older?" It's just so cute. It's so adorable. If I feel like many people have not seen Whisper of the Heart, but I really recommend it. It's such a heartfelt movie. But again, I'm just going to say, do not expect this to be like a fantastical, like with bunch of magic happening. It's like one of those Ghibli movies that this element of it is just not present, but that doesn't make it any less of a good movie. So yeah, and with that out of the way, we come to my final. Yeah, we come to the end of the video, and yeah, was my ranking of those Ghibli movies that I have seen. But again, again, I will probably come back to this video once I watch more or all of the Studio Ghibli movies. But for now, these are the six that I've seen and the rankings for it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. I always appreciate it. Comment your favorite Ghibli movie and I will read them. And just have a good day, night, afternoon, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.